Hey everyone, it's Job, and today I have a journal flip through of my Osaka and Seoul travel journal. I'm using the 012 sketchbook insert from Traveler's Company, and I decorated the cover with luggage tags and ticket stubs I accumulated during the trip. Let's get started. On February 13th, I picked up my family at the Seoul Incheon Airport, and on the evening of the 14th, we left for Osaka. I primarily used ticket stubs, washi tapes, and pamphlets for all my spreads. For example, I used the box for my Kodak film, as well as these label stickers to add more components to the page. The purple print paper that I used as a background for this spread is actually packaging that my sister brought with her to Korea. She brought these Aritzia wrapping papers to wrap and pad items that might shatter or break in her luggage. I guess it was a good thing she brought them because I ended up treating these like scrapbook papers and used them for almost all of my spreads in this travel journal. Since I didn't really bring any journaling supplies with me, I was forced to use these very limited supplies, which ended up working in my favor because this travel journal ended up looking quite cohesive. This next spread is from our first full day in Japan, and we spent the morning and afternoon in Kyoto, and we went to Fushimi Inari Taisha. In the evening, we went to Dotonbori and ate the night away. But before I explain the different elements on the page, let me show you the only journaling items I brought with me on this trip. I basically only brought these washi samples that I always carry with me in my 1.61 leather good zipper pouch, as well as these Daiso label stickers. I actually ran out of the label stickers on the 4th or 5th day of our travels. Also brought these mini Muji scissors and this black brush pen, which is great for dry brush lettering. I only brought one fountain pen, which is my white Lamy Safari, and it's filled with Noodler's black ink. And I also purchased this Pilot Kakuno while I was in Osaka. I also brought a permanent marker, a pencil, one Muji gel pen, and one ballpoint pen. I ran out of my favorite Daiso tape runner, so I brought a glue stick, even though I don't like glue sticks. Lastly, my family brought me one of my friend's birthday gifts for me, which was this tiny tin case filled with travel-themed ephemera and stickers. This little gift was a godsend because it allowed me to further embellish my spreads. Okay, back to the flip through. Since I didn't bring any watercolors with me, I used one of the Aritzia wrapping papers that my sister brought, which has a watercolor gradient design on it. And now on this next spread, I basically used more of that Aritzia wrapping paper. It was the mint green wrapping paper. I don't think I showed it to you yet, but it is the mint green wrapping paper, and I used that as a background. And we went to Rokuro's that day, which is a famous big shop in Osaka, as well as the Osaka Castle. So I just used elements from the packaging from the Rokuro's bag, and I pasted that onto the spread. And then I used my LG pocket printer once I got back to Korea, and I printed out a photo of the Osaka Castle and put that at the bottom corner of the spread. I basically just used washi tapes and the Osaka Castle pamphlet. And now onto the next spread. So we actually left Osaka on February 17th, and I basically used the plane tickets from our flight as the main focal point of this spread. I put those tickets on the top left-hand corner of the spread, and on the other corners I basically used this blue paper that I had. It has Japanese items, traditional items on it, and it's from a gift shop that I visited at the Osaka Castle, and then I put a bus ticket at the bottom right-hand corner of the spread. And we were back in Korea, but in the next spread I basically used more papers and pamphlets that I got from Osaka because I didn't want to waste them. So I put a map of the subway system from Osaka on the bottom left hand corner of the spread, and I use the same paper that I use in that Kyoto spread at the top right hand corner on the top right hand corner of the spread. That was a mouthful. For the next spread, I used this pink paper bag that I got from the bake shop called For the Homies. Get it? It's a play on words. Our chocolate croissants came in that pink bag, and I decided to rip it up and use it as the main focal point of the spread. The bag also had a gold leaf peace sign on it, which is really cool, and it added some pizzazz to the spread. On the left side, I just glued down the business card from the buffet we ate at. If you're wondering why my journaling is in different colors, it's because I actually did most of the journal writing when I got back home. I basically used all my other fountain pens, which I didn't bring on the trip. For this next spread, I had a lot of memorabilia that was green and black, and so it was natural to use that color palette for the spread. I took my family to Osaka, which is a green tea house, hence the giant paper cup cozy on the left page. On the 23rd, we visited Itaewon since we were craving tacos, and I glued the business card from Vatos on the center of the right page. I'm showing you these other washies and journaling supplies because the following spreads were created after the trip. I had access to all my journaling supplies, but I still wanted to keep the rest of my travel journal cohesive, so I only introduced a few other supplies into the mix. Since we went on a mini day trip on the 24th, I ended up collecting a bunch of pamphlets and memorabilia, so I ended up journaling about this day on 4 pages. The first 2 pages are dedicated to our short trip to this tourist trap called Petite France. It's basically a small mock-up of an olden day French village. A whole bunch of Korean dramas and reality shows have been filmed here, hence its popularity amongst tourists. The 2 other pages were dedicated to our trip to Nami Island. This was the main reason we went to Gangwon province in the first place. If you know anything about OG Korean dramas, you would know that Nami Island is an important location in the show Winter Sonata. Since I grew up watching this show with my family, it was nice to finally visit this famous island. It's really touristy though, which is a shame. I pasted the ferry ticket on the left page, and the torn piece of paper on the right page is from the Nami Island brochure, and I think it matches nicely with the ferry ticket. To finish the spread off, I glued down this business card that I got from the Dak Galbi restaurant, and if you didn't know, Dak Galbi is a spicy braised chicken dish, which is one of my favorite things to eat here in Korea. For the next spread, I repurposed the same purple wrapping paper to use as the background for my spread. On the 25th, my sister and I visited the Time stationery store for the Midori meetup. If you're wondering why I have so many cool travel-themed stamps on all my spreads, it's because I went a little crazy with the Travelers Company stamps that Songjun had at the store. On the 26th, we visited the new Halal Guys branch that opened in Itaewon, and then we just did some shopping in Myeongdong. I finally found the leather Van slip-ons I've been looking for since 2008. The last spread for this travel journal utilizes another Aritzia wrapping paper with a pink and green watercolor design on it. Since my family left Korea that day, I decided to put some lettering to make that sentiment more obvious on the spread. On the right page, I carried over the pink and green theme and even used my Tombow brush pen to add a very faint pink background on the top of the page. I also placed the sticker that came with my Kenzo for H&M socks on the spread since I finally got to wear them that day. I really like this spread because it's quite simple, yet the color palette is pretty unconventional for me. And that just about does it for this flip through. I know most of the spreads I created aren't the most exciting, and I didn't really use any cool techniques, but I really wanted to show you all what you can create with limited supplies while traveling. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below. Also, if you have any suggestions for future videos, please leave a comment down below. I know I primarily post process videos, but if there's any other content you would like to see here, just let me know. Okay, anyways, thanks for watching. Oh, I just said that already. Anyways, thanks for watching. I'll see you all next time. Bye.